Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. This is episode 26, and it's still cold here in Wellington. Freezing cold. Not been out for a round in quite some time. So hopefully, but looking through the hot scores this week, plenty of you have done. So that's good. We've got a great show for you today. We've got Ben Wiel-Lake on the show a little bit later on. He'll be talking to us about his disc golf journey. It's been quite an interesting one for him. And he'll be joining us also for Desert Island Disc Golf. And he'll be going through our quickfire questions as well. We've got a preview of some events coming up and some special guests on next week. It's also ratings week this week. And that's fantastic. So there's been a little bit of movement, not much, but a little bit, and we'll go over that a little bit later on. Okay, first up is the hot scores for the week. Starting down in Invercargill, it's Barry Van Beek who knocks in 14 under par to take the lead at Queen's Park Reserve. Over in Dunedin, Cameron Mackey once again on top of the pile, joined this week by Morgan Hartfell on 6 under par. Across to the Gardens, and Stephen Brown hits 11 under. And at Ely Point, Dom Hayden kicks Ryan Cambridge off the leaderboard with a 5 under par this week. Over at Lismore, and it's Billy Goldsmith hits 13 under par. And at Jelly Park, we've got a three-way tie between Isaac Sasanua Howard, Callum and Gregor Brosnahan, who all hit 13 down. Across the city in Queen's Park Reserve, and it's Bryce Collier and Jai T who hits 7 under. And at Brooker Ave, Zach Taylor also hits 7 under for the hot score this week. Up to the capital, and it's Dylan Johnson who hits 7 under par at Berhampore. And also a shout out to Brady Cush, who hits 7 under par on the championship tees at Berhampore, tying the course record, his own course record there, including an eagle on hole 8. If anybody's ever played championship 8 at Berhampore, then you'll know that's no mean feat. Across to Hikoikoi and Petone, and there's a two-way tie between Dion Rawadi and Lofa Fiola, who both hit 2 under par, so well done to them. And up at Harcourt Park, it's Mitch Hudson who hits the hot round, 5 under par from Mitch. So good stuff there. Up to Palmerston North, Joel Simpson and Team Sweet Chain's Brock Fraser have tied it up at 3 under par. And at Inglewood, Conor McKinstry goes round the course, at even par 66. So well done to him. Spa Park, and it's Ken Harris and Howard who both hit 1 over par. And at McLaren's, Brad Taylor hits a very competitive even round for the hot score this week. Up at Henderson, it's Matthew Huang hits 4 under par, and Anthony Rogers hits 6 under par on the Woodhill red tees to lock out Auckland. So well done to all of those players. Some fantastic scores there coming through, and some new names as well, and plenty of the 1 in 10 team making it onto the leaders list this week. And one of the members of the 1 in 10 team is joins us now, I should say, and that's Ben Wiel-Lake, who should be there. Good evening, Ben.
How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, all good.
Excellent. Thanks very much for coming on the show, and for talking to us a little bit about your disc golf journey. It's been a little bit different to a lot of people's. How did you talk to us a little bit how you started and what's been going on?
Well, disc golf for me started out back in maybe 2011, 2012. I just did a holiday program here in Queenstown, and Aran from Small Planet came along, and we went out to the rugby field, and he taught us kind of the fundamentals on how to throw a disc, some good technique. And then we headed off to the Queenstown Gardens to play around. And I think the winner ended up getting a disc. Anyway, that wasn't me. But 2 days later, I popped into Small Planet, and Iran gave me a good deal on my first ever buzz. And since that day, I've pretty much been hooked and used to go and play after school every day. Now sort of obviously working a bit more, don't have as much time, but still loving it and still playing tournaments, and that's sort of how I got to where I am now.
Fantastic. Member of the Discmania 1 in 10 team now, but you have been sponsored previously.
Yeah. back in 2015, we had a couple of the pros come over. Dave Felberg, Simon Lizotte, Chris Adiego, couple of others, I believe, out to Waitawa in Auckland for nationals. Anyway, on the Friday, we had the doubles before the singles, obviously, and that was at Woodhill. And myself and Chris Dixon ended up actually being paired up with Dave Felberg and Chris Adiego for the doubles. Super fun, cool crew to play with. And then at the end of the weekend, Dave actually sort of approached me and said, "Hey, like, you've got some talent. Pretty cool to have someone out in New Zealand. Would love to send you some discs." So then a few weeks later went by, and then got a big box of discs in the mail. Started throwing them, and then I think maybe the next year rolled around, or maybe it was halfway through that year. He got in touch again and asked if I wanted to be on Team Latitude 64 back when he was with them. And yeah, I represented them for maybe 2 or 3 years. Super fun, cool company to work with. And then I sort of dipped out of disc golf for a wee while, had a few other things come up, so I sort of put that on hold. There wasn't really much point in me continuing that. I couldn't really represent the company as I would sort of want to be able to at that time. So dipped away from that, and then starting to get back into it this year. And obviously the Discmania 1 in 10 initiative sort of popped up and took my eye. Back before I was sponsored by Latitude, I was a big Discmania fanboy, so pretty cool to try get back on that and start throwing their plastic again.
Good stuff. And when we get to Desert Island Disc Golf, I'm sure that there'll be more than one Discmania disc that we talk about.
For sure.
We'll see. So how have you felt about your performance so far this year in the events you played?
Pretty below par, really, to be honest with you. I think the first tournament I played was the Heiselander down in Dunedin. Played pretty good the first round. Got put in a group with Justin, who I'd actually never played with before in that second round, so it was pretty fun to have a jam with him. Couldn't really keep up, unfortunately. I don't think a lot of people can at this point in time.
No.
That first tournament was pretty solid. Pretty happy with my performance considering it was the first one back. Then had a couple of other good showings, but then I think I had like 3 tournaments in 4 weekends and wasn't the greatest. My game hasn't been the best, just not having the time to put in and commit 100% to. And then coming off a bit of an injury as well hasn't been ideal. But sticking with it, and hopefully I can sort of close out the rest of this year with some positive results, and fingers crossed get my first tour win back after a couple of years, which would be pretty awesome. Still yet to have one this year, so that's the main goal.
And you've got a great opportunity to do that in a couple of weeks' time at Tucker Beach. Last time you played this tournament, you came second. Looking to go one better this year. Yeah,
definitely. I think it's a tournament I might have won once before. If I'm right, I think it might have actually been my first ever tour win back in not sure when. And yeah, I've come close a few times. Actually won the Open Division at Nationals back in 2017. Was only beaten by Martin Doken, who took out the Masters in the overall. So I have a pretty good sort of showing at Tucker's usually, and it's probably a course that I kind of excel in. So fingers crossed I can get some practice in the next week and have a good showing.
What makes it? What is it about Tucker's that makes it suit your game, or rather, perhaps it's better worded the other way around? What is it about your game that that makes it suitable for Tucker's?
I like to throw hard and like to throw far. Tucker's is definitely quite an open course, so suits a big arm. Definitely a few holes you have to shape some shots. But you know, I do like the woods. I absolutely love the woods, but I definitely wouldn't say it's my strongest point, especially at this current time. But yeah, I just love throwing far, and Tuckers is awesome for that. Wide open. If you can throw far and your putting's on at Tuckers, you're probably going to shoot pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've got a few events coming up, hey. So you've got it's the Charteris Bay Charge, it's the week 22nd of August, I think. Around 21st of August.
On the Sunday, yeah.
As well, which you'll be going to in Christchurch. So looking for a showing there. And do you reckon you'll get up to North Island at all?
Yeah, hopefully for North Island Champs, if I can register in time with not sure how the registration process is going to go down. Hopefully I can get a foot in the door there and book my flights and make sure I can get up for that. Probably two of my favorite courses for that weekend. So I would absolutely love to be up there for that. And then, probably won't get up north again other than North Island Champs. Just a bit of a struggle to get time off and stuff. But I'll try and fit in all the tournaments down south at least and play those to get a few more events in before the end of the year.
Well, there's still plenty to go down there in the second half of the year, like with Ohio and Twizel and the one in Christchurch as well. So, and two in Christchurch actually with the fling. So, there's plenty still to get to. Good stuff.
Sure.
Good stuff. Excellent. And Hemi reminds us that youngest person to win a New Zealand disc golf tour event. Very good. Very good.
That doesn't break that in any hurry.
Say again.
Let's hope Levi doesn't break that in any hurry.
I think he'll certainly be at all the ones that you're at down south. So it'll be interesting battles to see. Certainly. Desert Island disc golf. You're stranded on a desert island. Fortunately, there's a disc golf course on this island, but you've only got 3 discs. What are your 3 discs? What have you chosen to bring along? And who are your card mates? We'll get to the card mates in a moment. What are your 3 discs?
First off, there will obviously, like you said, be a couple Discmania discs. First one will be the Discmania Evolution Link. It's just a putter, straight putter. Everyone probably has one in their bag. Kind of like a Big Beat AVR or a Dagger from Latitude. Relatively not super deep, but kind of mid-depth. Beat obviously just flies nice and straight. This one here is my throwing putter. So throw it sort of on any line. If you throw it on a hyzer, it'll sort of flip up to straight. Throw it flat or slight ante, it'll sort of turn over. Great in the woods, like in the Queenstown Gardens where I play mostly.
And what plastic is that in?
It's in the Exo Hard, I believe, which is kind of like a more stiffer baseline plastic, similar to KC or the hard plastics from like any of the Trilogy lineup is what I would compare it to. Next up is my Dynamic Discs Justice.
Good choice.
This one I've had for years. Shout out to Alan Gorley. Got this when he was in Portland at the Huck Lab store. This is an absolute meat hook of an overstable mid-range, probably the most overstable mid-range that's made, I assume. I've had this for years and it's super beat up, but you still can't even turn it. I throw this for up shots if it's windy, or I can like rip it on an ante and have it like flex out. So if you need to do like a weird kind of S shot or forehand up shots, or just if the wind's ripping, it's just gonna go where you throw it.
That overstable mid is such a key part of anyone's bag, I think.
Another disc that everyone should have. Maybe it doesn't have to be this overstable, but at least something moderately overstable. But also keen to try out the new Dynamic Discs Mutant, which is a new release from them. It's supposed to be very similar to this. So who knows, maybe that will kick this out of the bag. It will have to be something pretty special, though, to be able to do that. And last one is just a bit of a pretty one, is my Baby Blue Cloudbreaker. This is a bit beat in now, so if I just rip it on a bit of a hyzer or flat, it's just going to be my go-to distance driver. Going to go out straight, turn right, come back left at the end. Pretty predictable, getting a little bit squirrely now, getting a bit flippy. But if I want max distance, it's what I'm going to throw. Yeah, for an advanced player, great distance driver. Similar to the Destroyer or a Defender from Dynamic, something like that. For a beginner, this will just be a good kind of overstable driver, good in the wind. Yeah, again, another disc that everyone's going to have in their bag is just a go-to max distance ripper kind of thing.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent. Ideal. And who are the 3 people that you would have on your card?
I'm actually going pretty simple. I'm not going for any pros or any famous people, anyone that's dead. I'm just going to go first off with my homie, Robbie Tutufu. He's my crayfish Mornay. And whenever we hook up for a round or play doubles together, we absolutely kill it. Hopefully I'll catch up with him this coming weekend at the Tucker Beach Rush, or next weekend, should I say. Awesome dude. I'm his sensei, so he knows that. Another one would have to be Damian Peters from up in Auckland. Another one of the homies that every time I get up there, we hook up for a round, crash at his place. But someone I haven't seen for probably almost a couple years now. So someone I'd definitely love to have on that desert island to catch up with and play around with. He's also an absolute beast at disc golf. Most of you new guys probably won't know him. He's sort of been off the tour for a while, but that guy won the tour a few years back. So fingers crossed he gets back into it and beats everyone asses, I would say. Last one is another one that I haven't played with in a while, and that's Ben Thompson from Wanaka. That guy's been on the tour, then been off the tour, and had all his ups and downs, but that's one dude that I'd love to have around with. He created the Hawaii disc golf course, so couldn't play with him on the desert island. I'd love to play with him in Hawaii sometime soon as well. And I'd love to see him back out throwing a bit more too.
Good stuff. Good stuff. 3 very worthy people of Desert Island Disc Golf, I think. Excellent. Definitely. Excellent. Good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, Ben. We're going to go through our quickfire round. So as you know, we've got the family-friendly front 9 and then the safari 9 to come afterwards. So it's quickfire. There's no right or wrong answers, but it's up to you. Ready? Are you ready? So what's your name?
Ben.
Where were you born?
In Chicago.
Where do you live now?
Queenstown.
What's your PDGA number?
80057.
How many years have you been playing?
10.
Favorite course?
Ooh, Ale White in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Favorite disc?
Ooh, DD3.
Favorite MPO player?
Let's go Dustin Keegan.
Favorite FPO player?
Zoe Andike.
Very good, very good. Right, so we got back 9 now. Ski or snowboard?
Snowboard.
Cecil or Walter?
Cecil.
Sexton or Coling?
Coling.
Gardens or Tuckers?
Gardens.
Dynamic discs or West Side?
Dynamic discs.
Forehand or backhand?
Backhand.
Sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Train or bus?
Train.
Carnival or circus?
Circus.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Ben, for joining us there. Some good answers, and great to hear a little bit about your disc golf journey and how you got to here, and some of the stuff that you're throwing as well. Good to see. We'll be following your results at Tucker Beach and at the Charteris Bay Charge, and for the rest of the season, indeed. And obviously, we'll hear more about the Discmania 1 in 10 and how you and the others get on as the year progresses. So thank you very much for joining us.
Awesome.
Anyone you want to say a shout out to?
Shout out to everyone in the Queenstown Disc Golf Club, all my uncles and aunties that have been playing for years and helped me grow within the sport. Around at Small Planet for their constant support over the years. My friends and family, the Discmania 1 and 10 crew. Shout out to all those boys grinding hard. Can't wait to be playing with you guys all shortly. And thanks to you as well, Matt, for having me on the show tonight.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I'm sure we'll have you on again another time.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, Ben. Catch you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ben Wiel-Lake there joining us. Very interesting disc golf journey he's had. And we'll be following his progress throughout the rest of the year. Now, on last Tuesday was ratings day for PGA. And so in New Zealand, let's start with the ladies division. There's very little movement here since last month. Hayley Flintoff maintains her top position at 890, Leanna Christina on 885, Gemma Sullivan 876, Bonnie O'Neill 873, Charlotte Dunkley 861, Eilish Kumak 846, Michelle Simpson up 1 point to 845, Liz Mocker in 8th on 843, and then Linga Fiula and Melody Ripley tied in 9th on 836. Over in the men's division, there's a little bit more movement. Jackson Sullivan climbs 2 points to 1990 and maintains his top spot in New Zealand. Ethan Stout stays on 984. Simon Feezy's up 2 points to 980 in third. And then you got Andy Davey on 975, David Keane 974, Levi Stout on 974, Conor McKinstry 971, Mark Dakiv moves up 2 places, tied 8th with Mikey Yu on 970, and Mario Cernia climbs 4 places, up four ratings points to 964. Expecting more of an update next month when we have the results of Tucker's in, and then the tournaments come thick and fast after that. So we got the Charteris Bay Charge in August, and also Faultline Fury in August. And Faultline on the PGA site, there's 90 spaces available. 85 people have signed up so far. So if you want to get in, you might be too late. I don't know. You'll have to check with Jack and Liz Mocker on that one. But get in contact with them if you do want to play. And finally, there is a couple of spots, literally a handful of spaces left at Rapture in Wellington on the 14th of August. $50 gets you a Pekka Pekka, a Kotuku, and a Ruru, all in premium plastic, and a day of disc golf where we'll be playing doubles in the morning, mixed random doubles in the morning, and then singles in the afternoon up at a hybrid hardcore park. A great practice for Faultline if you're playing in that event as well. And that's 2 weeks before Faultline on the 14th of August. That's it from me this week. Thank you so much for joining us, other than to say that next week I'll be joined by Chris Hoopman of Flexline Media, and he'll be talking to us about what it's like to film disc golf, and he'll be joining us for his Desert Island disc golf as well. So if you've got any questions for Chris, send them through during the week or pop them in the comments next week, and I'll see you there. Otherwise, have a great week. Stay warm, stay dry. We'll see you next Thursday live at 9.